gluing tons of US dollars. I wish we were this rich, we could probably buy the Long Bien Bridge as opposed to just shooting on it, but unfortunately it's just paper money. But we're trying to make our work easier a little bit for tomorrow. So we're preparing those money boards that are gonna go on Khhang's body, and once he's all dressed in this money-covered costume, tomorrow early in the morning we're gonna head down to the bridge and shoot a cool, big, hopefully pretty unique art performance. In the Long Bien performance, Khhang is covered head to toe with paper money and he's walking across the Long Bien Bridge until he disappears into the river. This performance is based on a performance that Khhang did several years prior. So actually I like this performance because it's kind of like it's your performance that I adapted into a scene for the film that's actually quite different. So for the original performance of Khhang's, he actually built this big bamboo structure out here in your garden, right? And I was actually here. There was a crowd of people. I could barely see anything, but I do remember I was filming a little bit for it. But you and your performance were covered in money on this bamboo structure that got set on fire. Everything was burning and you were stripping away this money. And I remember there was also an orchestra of 30 Harley Davidsons revving their engines to the sound of music or something like that. It was just typical madness in Khhang's house. But for this film, I adapted this performance that you did and used it for the purpose of the film. The paper money that you see in the performance, it's not actual real dollars. I mean, I wish it was. Then this film would have been much easier to make if I had that much money to just throw down the river. But in Vietnam, there's a common practice of burning money. That sounds so bad. Of burning actual it's fake paper money that people will burn as gifts to their ancestors who have passed away. There's not just money. People burn different things. There's paper iPhones. There's paper T-shirts. There's paper everything.
I have to say, I understand very much value of the money. Even now, I have really good life compared with other artists. But I have to be long time, in more than 20 years, be hungry. No food, almost nothing, like a minimum for the life. But I don't have.
That's like me right now. I'm shooting this film while homeless.
But now, even now, when I have a good life, I still need a lot of money, but it's not for food, not for the car, not for the big house. I need money for I can make art. So now I getting even $1. If I have $1, I can make something in art. It's in my mind. It's very necessary. But I hate the money too. If that's money, it's dirty money. Vietnam, the country, we have problem with the corruption a lot, from everywhere, from high level until very low level. That's dirty money. Corruption, everywhere people do it. If the people always thinking in the mind about cannot change, so people will be accept it and living with this forever or not? I think not. We have to do something. We have to delete that kind of thing. I respect rich people. If they are talented, they are good business. That's a very fair. But the money, just from power, from position, from corruption, it's that kind of money. It's dirty money. Is it a performance? I would like to send the information to people who getting money from dirty way. That's the money. It doesn't work for them too. Even they think they get the money and they get power. Maybe they think they're happy with that. But I think other way, they will destroy the power they have.
Just to let you know the sacrifice we're making for this film, my crew member is up over there on a bridge installing a VR camera so that we can do an over capture kind of shot, which is some kind of new technique that I just learned about yesterday, and it might completely not work, but if it works, hopefully it's gonna look pretty cool.
This performance, I go in the middle of train track. In my mind thinking, you think you have power, go on the train, then what you want is you have power. Yeah.
You have power until the train
but
comes.
the train can one day
Right,
you die.
right.
You nothing.
There's one more thing about the performance that I really like. As you said, it's stripping away money that controls you and trying to get rid of the control, because people forget who they are inside. But what I like is that once you finally make it through the bridge and down and escape the train, and then you slowly come into nature, and then what happens at the end? You disappear in nature, and all this money, this entire person built of nothing else but money, you just disappear, and then there's nothing else more. There's just the river. Life ends, and there's nothing more. And all this money and all this dangerous going on the train tracks and risking everything, and this pain and the suffering, in the end, it doesn't matter. There's only the river. And then the very next shot in the film, it takes it a step further, because we see that, okay, this person that was covered with money, he is gone. And what else? And now this money, the leftovers, the symbols of him come to shore, and the shores of Hanoi's Red River are not clean. There's plenty of trash, plenty of garbage. So what is that money? That money is just garbage. This person was essentially, clinging on to garbage his entire life. Not that I disrespect money, but it's something that in the larger context is so insignificant. And by extension, then, my big question in the film also is all art garbage? I mean, is all art really insignificant? Because what is art? I mean, art in a way, it's play, it's enjoying life, it's kindness, it's warmth. In a way, yes, art is profound and important and big and blah 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 blah, but art is not about building something extraordinary. Asking what is art is like asking what is life, and once you think about it and study all the philosophies, you realize that actually life and many of those big questions, it's all irrelevant in the end. And in the end, you just get this shore and all this stuff that caused so much pain, so much suffering, so much thought. In the end, it just didn't matter. And that's really what I love about this performance, and I'm very proud that we were able to pull it off. And on a production side of things also, I was terrified that we were gonna get shot down by the police during this performance. Long Bien Bridge, by the way, it's the oldest bridge in Hanoi. It was built by the French during colonial times. It's an awful location to shoot on. There's traffic on both sides. There's motorbikes. Lucky there's no cars anymore, but there's motorbikes, there's cyclos, triclos, whatever anybody brings on the bridge. In the middle, there's a train going. There's nowhere to turn around. There's no space, and it's people going in every direction. It's very dangerous. There's holes in the ground. We could see the river underneath, and in the middle of that, bringing all our equipment there and trying to film there, and also being afraid that police are gonna show up. It's not that we're doing anything bad or anything even politically or socially sensitive, but rather the fact that police in Vietnam will sometimes simply shut down a shoot or a performance purely as a precaution. They don't understand what we're doing, but they're afraid of it.
We're lucky. We don't have that happen coming to when we make a film.
Right. Very lucky. Thank you, government. Thank you, police, for letting us finish and looking the other way. Maybe they were busy.
Yes.
Just stopping drivers and taking bribes from car drivers that day. So our artist is taking a smoke break, and I find it really amusing. Very relaxed. That's how we do our productions in Hanoi. I'm terrified.